Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a couple different ways on how to do a magic circle, including this double loop magic circle. So to begin, we're going to start off by doing a traditional magic circle. To start the traditional magic circle, we're going to hold our yarn in between our thumb and our index finger with the tail of the yarn pointing down. Okay, we're going to take our yarn and loop it across the top of our three fingers. Bring it back around, loop it over the top again, forming an X. And we're going to tuck it in between our ring and our pinky finger, kind of holding it down right there. Okay, so again, holding the yarn between our thumb and our index finger with the tail pointing down. We're going to loop it around our fingers once, and then back up, going over the top and forming an X on top of your fingers, holding it down with our pinky. We're going to take our crochet hook, and with the hook pointing down, we're going to insert our hook between our ring finger and our middle finger underneath that first loop that we made. So your hook is pointing down and you have it underneath your first loop. You're going to grab that second loop, pull it through and twist it to where your hook is pointing up and you have one loop on your hook. You'll then take the tail end of the rest of your yarn. You're going to grab it with your hook and pull it through that loop. Okay, I'll show you that one more time. So we've got our yarn over our three fingers, back around, over the top, forming an X, tucking in with your pinky. Hook pointed down in between your ring and your middle finger underneath that first loop. Underneath that first loop. Grab the second loop and twist your hook up. Okay, hold that loop down. Grab the rest of that yarn and pull it through that loop. Okay, and pull it tight. That forms your single loop magic circle. That's a traditional magic circle. When you work your stitches through this loop, you're going to work through the loop and your tail end as well, weaving in that tail end. So we'll work 6 into that loop. We'll work 6 single crochets. So we're just inserting our hook into the middle of that loop, pulling it through and doing a single crochet. Okay. Once we have all our stitches on there, we're going to pull up our loop just to keep it from coming out. And then to pull our single loop magic circle easily, you're just going to take your tail end and pull that loop tight and snug. Okay. You'll just pull it strong. And that creates a magic circle. So then you would just join around, continue around, whatever your pattern says to do next. That forms your magic circle. The next magic circle that I'm going to show you is the double loop magic circle. Okay, so it's the same as a traditional loop magic circle. It works out the same. It just holds everything a little bit tighter. So we're going to start the same way with our yarn tail facing down, our yarn between our thumb and our index finger. We're looping it over the top of our fingers just as we did before, but we're going to go ahead and loop it over twice. Bring it back up and make that X across. So you're doing 3 loops total over your fingers when you do this. So let's do that one more time. Yarn facing down, over the top of our 3 fingers 2 times. 1, 2. And then the third time is when we exit over the top of our fingers. Okay. Now to grab up the yarn, we're doing it the exact same way as we did before with our hook facing down. We're going in between our ring and our middle finger. We're grabbing that top strand of yarn, we're pulling it through and we're twisting it, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through that loop. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So we've got our strands over twice, one more to make that X, inserting in between our ring and our middle finger underneath the first 2 loops, grabbing that third loop, pulling it through, twisting our hook up, grabbing our yarn again and pulling it through that loop. Okay, and pull it tight. Now, to pull this magic circle tight is a little bit different, so I want to show you how to do that. When we work our crochets through or stitches through this double loop magic circle, we're going to be working through both loops and the tail. Okay, so we'll grab our yarn and we'll do 6 single crochets again through both loops and the tail. So we'll insert our hook into the middle of our magic circle, pull up a strand, pull through, and do that 6 times. Okay. And pull our loop up so that we can keep it and it doesn't fall through. Okay, so we've got our 6 single crochets worked into our magic circle, worked through both loops on the magic circle. So to pull this one tight, it's a little bit different than the traditional magic circle. We're going to be working 1 loop at a time. Okay, so you've got your 2 loops here in your tail. To find the correct loop that we're going to pull first, we're going to pull our tail just slightly. Okay, and that's going to pull one of your loops. So if you see here, you're going to see that this loop gets tighter as I pull that tail. Okay, so that's the loop we're going to be working with first. Now, one of those ends of that loop are going to pull the tail tight or the tail out. So if you see as I'm pulling this side, it's pulling that tail. We don't want to pull that side. We want to pull the side that pulls this second loop tight. So if you go to the other side and pull, you'll see that it pulls that second loop tight. So we're going to pull that one first. We're going to pull it all the way until it's tight. And then to tighten this this first loop, we're going to take our tail. Where is it? There it is. We're going to take our tail and we are going to pull that loop tight. And at the end, we'll just give it a little extra tug just to make sure everything's tight. And that forms our double loop magic circle. So the double loop magic circle, I like it. It holds everything a lot tighter. It's a lot harder to loosen that magic circle. So it's great for plushies. It's great for granny squares, whatever you need it for. It doesn't work for everything. I found when I'm doing double crochets into the magic circle, the double loop magic circle, it's kind of hard. It makes it a little bit harder to pull it tight. So it doesn't work for everything, but most things I found this works for. So you'll just continue around with what your pattern tells you to do, joining your round or whatever your pattern is, tells you to do next, but that's how it forms your double loop magic circle. Okay, so that's it for today's tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed it. If it helped you, please like this video and subscribe for more patterns and tutorials. And make sure you let us know how your magic circle came out. If you have any tips or tricks for how you make your magic circle, we'd love to hear about them. Leave them in the comments below. And happy crocheting!